Hey everyone, it's Luke here from LT Gaming and welcome back to all you LT gamers. Today, I'm checking out Star Citizen in 2023. In particular, I'm going to be looking at the Alpha 3.20 update that only recently dropped. Before we start, I just want to caveat this look at Star Citizen by saying it's definitely the perspective of a new player. Now, only a couple of weeks ago, I made a video on the top 5 alternatives to Starfield, and I have to say I've really enjoyed Starfield. It's an RPG in space, and yeah, there's lots of loading screens, but it does cut out a lot of the long-winded travel that you find in other games like X4 and Elite Dangerous. However, for many of us space game lovers, these types of journeys are what make the game worth it. Its immersion and that experience of space. But as a result of that top 5 list, many of you suggested Star Citizen, and I realised it was a project I never touched upon. So my next move was to make it to the Robert Space Industries website and look at the various packages that were available to me. In the end, I made a decision to go with the Aurora MR starting pack, which cost me €51.48. I had absolutely no idea what awaited me. And this is one of the problems with Star Citizen when you start out. You don't really know what angle or route you want to take. So I had a choice between the Aurora MR and the Mustang Alpha. After some research, I found that the Aurora MR had a bed which would allow me to log out, and that would give me far more utility, so I decided to pick that one. Also, I would follow up and say that it's not a huge loss if you don't go for the Mustang Alpha, because you can pick it up in-game for around $250,000 Alpha UEC, which is the in-game currency you can earn by doing different missions and activities. And honestly, once you get going, that's not a huge amount of currency. Now overall, I did enjoy my Aurora MR, but quickly found myself on the Robert Space Industries website looking to upgrade my ship, and for an extra €11 I upgraded it to the LN version, which had 4 weapon points. This definitely helped my combat ability in the game, but also the ability to upgrade your ships in stages is quite a good option if you want to invest your money that way. But this is one of the problems with the game. It drags you in and it makes you spend more money if you want to quickly get the better ships. Now of course you're not forced to do this, and you can buy or rent most of the ships in-game with the currency, and actually I ended up renting an Avenger Titan for around 17,000 Alpha UEC, which wasn't that much, and also I really enjoyed the Origin 300i during my playtime so far. I would rent these in 24-hour slots, and I found it a really useful method for understanding the types of ships and missions that I enjoyed. So if you're new to the game, I definitely think the Aurora MR and Mustang Alpha are decent starts, as you can rent ships and upgrade them in-game, but also if you do want to go for a ship that's going to be very strong, even from the beginning, then the Avenger Titan starter package at around €85 is probably your best bet. This is where the game can get a little bit silly, as some of the starting packages go up to €1,250 for a starting ship. I mean, that's just insane for a pretend ship in a made-up universe, right? Some people will go mad at me for saying that, but I do think it's a lot of money. I put out the call on the server I was on, and someone let me onto their 890 jump. This ship goes for over $1,200. This is insane. The ship's absolutely beautiful, and you should see it on screen right now, but look, come on, there's so many better things in life you could spend your money on. And I get it, it's a free market and you can spend your money however you like, but I do feel it buys into that mentality that the game has a pay-to-win aspect to it. Now, I don't think that it does, having played it for quite some time, but there definitely is a tier of the people who buy their ships and the people who earn them. And we have to remember that Star Citizen has been in development since 2011. Is your money ever going to pay off if you spend that huge amount? And this moves us into the other area. Yes, the game has been in development since 2011, I'll say it again, and what is in front of me doesn't really warrant that. I mean, it's a very impressive game, well, an alpha let's say, but it's still in alpha after all this time and all the money that they have, and that's definitely an issue for me, because I know games like Starfield get criticised, but it is a finished product and you can play it all the way through. However, this definitely does not mean that I'm writing Star Citizen off. I actually think it's a wonderful product, massively flawed, incredibly buggy, and barely works most of the time, but the ambition is absolutely beautiful. I can't remember being as captivated by a game as this one. I have played it solidly for 5 days straight, and I think it's a very, very cool experience. It is massively frustrating. I mean, I've actually pretty much thrown things at my screen when it's logged me off, or the missions have bugged out halfway through, or I've lost a bunch of money, or 15 minutes getting from my station up into space and to the mission, and then it doesn't work. But overall, I can't stop looking around at the visuals that are there. The ability to fly from the planet through the atmosphere to space seamlessly is just epic. Now, of course, I had the ability to play before the Alpha 3.20 patch dropped, and I will say it was a lot more stable. On launch day, the game was down for multiple periods of time. The inventory system has been completely bugged and barely works at all or won't load. This means you can't equip or do virtually any of the bunker missions, which are a great way to make money. Connection issues have been rife, and at times I've barely been able to load the game up. But that hasn't stopped me from trying to play this and still enjoying it somehow. I also noted that they had changed a number of control binds, and that confused many players. Also, a lot of players lost ships that they had bought in-game. It's definitely one thing to consider if you're going to buy into the game, the fact that every time they release a major update, there can be complete wipes of your current progress in the persistent universe. One thing they reintroduced in this patch was the Arena Commander mode, and it's a huge amount of fun. If you just want to hone your skills in the FPS mode or in your spaceship, making REC where you can buy other ships, it's an absolutely really fun game mode, and to be honest, it makes up some of the price of entry itself. There are a surprising amount of cool features in this mode, like FPS, you can do space combat with others, trying to destroy as many enemy ships as you can, there's racing, and lots of other modes, and I think it's absolutely great. It certainly allowed me to hone my space combat skills so I could use them in the persistent universe. And it is in the persistent universe where you will spend most of your game time. It is in this mode you will see the ambition and true potential of this game. The spaceport that I initially started in was Area 18, and it was incredibly impressive. The visuals blew me away. I got the tram, which was very buggy, down to the spaceport, and I took off into space. And this was an incredibly immersive experience. I also visited New Babbage in that time, and honestly, it's such a cool looking city. The potential is literally limitless with how cool this could be. Throughout my time in the persistent universe, I focused mainly on bounty hunting and mercenary missions. I also did some delivery boxes to begin with, and it's a really good mode to earn some money early on. You don't have to take part in combat in this game to earn money, but I do think for me, it was part of the fun and immersion. The first person shooting is, it's pretty good. It's not the best, but it does a job, and the ability to land on the planet, get off your ship, and then take out a bunch of mercenaries on foot is very cool. Loot them, bring it all back to your ship, back to your planet, and sell everything off. Once I rented my Origin 300i, just cruising through space became absolutely beautiful. I often would find myself in the external camera mode, rotating my ship, just looking at the wonderful graphics. I mean, the planets are stunning in this game. Really blew me away on that front. I have to say, the stars of the show in this game are definitely the ships. My 300i is a beauty, with a glass canopy that goes right over the top so I can look out into space. It has an internal cargo hold where I can press a button and it drops down and I can load on my cargo. When I finally got to access the 890 Jump, oh my god, that ship is amazing. It's the best starship I've seen in any game. I can easily see how people would get drawn into buying better and better ships. I was almost falling into the trap myself, but I've pulled away a little bit. I was playing this game so much it became almost an obsession. And look, that's where we really have to summarise with this game. It's an absolutely beautiful, flawed, long overdue project, which is so full of bugs and frustrations, but I keep coming back and I am totally addicted to it. It's becoming a bit of a problem. So for me, Star Citizen is a project I'm going to keep in touch with, but I can't play it every day because it's just too frustrating. But I think dipping in and dipping out, looking at the improvements, is part of the fun. But look, it could take another 8 years before this is released. This is the joke, right? I don't think that it's a scam because I do see progress and I do see people throwing that word around a lot. But I think you need to be very cautious in getting involved with this game if you expect a finished product soon. However, honestly, for the price I paid to play this game and the enjoyment I got, I don't see a problem with you picking it up in 2023 and trialing it for yourself. There's nothing out there as ambitious as this game, and it's really enjoyable to see where it could end up. So there we go, guys. I jumped into Star Citizen and I wanted to give you my opinion. If you made it this far and you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe if you're new here. Both me and Tom really appreciate it. I've been Luke from LT Gaming, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.